Hello beautiful people of the internet. My name is Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post a lot of lifestyle content, a lot of wellness content, and a lot of self-help content. So if any of that sounds interesting to you guys, definitely be sure to stick around. Today we are going into our December monthly reset, which is a little weird because I usually don't do this in this area. But unfortunately we're getting into the depths of winter where it is getting dark at 4 or 5 o'clock, and of course it's 5 o'clock, so I'm not gonna do it over there where I don't have any light. So yeah, it feels a little bit off. This is like the area where I feel like I get down to business, where I talk about all of my journeys and all of my plans. So maybe this will be good for me because this is like the zen space in my room. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know how insane anything in this video is really gonna be because I feel like December is kind of an off month for me. Not in a bad way, like I don't give up, but I really just focus on the basics of my routine. So this is just my fair warning that there's not gonna be anything crazy, anything like new and exciting in this. It's gonna be a lot of the basics. And if you wanna skip around, you're free to do so. I'll have all the sections listed right here. We are gonna first go through the consumption corner, basically everything I've been reading, watching, listening to over the last month. We're gonna go through the goals, we're gonna go through the budget, and we're gonna go through my followers trackers. I would honestly say for you guys to take advantage of how casual and simple this one's gonna be, because next month we're adding a few more segments. We're getting a little more crazy. I have a lot of stuff planned for the new year, and that's what I'm focusing on right now, is just making sure that's all set up for next month. So with that being said, let's get into the first segment. So here we are in the consumption corner. This is everything I have been consuming throughout the last month. Not necessarily everything that I loved, but everything that I've been consuming as a whole. So for books, I had an interesting month with reading. I had 6 different books on my radar. Of that, I only completed 3 of them. So the ones that I finished reading were Mate, Two Can Play, and The Dead Romantics. So Mate by Ali Hazelwood, I was literally just finishing up, I believe in the last few days of November. It was a really great book. I rated it 5 stars. I think I thought it was a lot better than Bride, even though it's been a while since I've read Bride. Yeah, I really liked it. If you're into old like fan fiction style writing with werewolves and paranormal stuff, this is chef's kiss. It was right up my alley. Next, I read Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, which is technically just an audiobook, so I listened to it. It is only available as an audiobook, which I think is weird, but I do want to consume, I guess, all of Ali Hazelwood's stuff, so this is part of my journey to finish everything she's ever written. Two Can Play was weird. I don't know, like, I love the concept and I enjoyed most of the book. Just some of it felt cheesier, which Ali Hazelwood, of course, she has her times. Part of it, I was definitely rolling my eyes, definitely cringing a little bit, but by the end of it, I was like, okay, I don't mind this. I think it's because if you know Ali Hazelwood, you know she loves a good miscommunication trope. I actually love the way the miscommunication was done in this one. It wasn't what I expected it was gonna be. It actually made a lot of sense and it was respectable. So that was the only reason I wasn't like, this book is stupid, because it surprised me and did something a little bit different than her other books did, I feel, at least, even with the same trope. So in the end, I rated that 3.75 out of 5. And then after that, I read The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I still don't know how to say it. Look, I love The 7-Year Slip so much. I had really high hopes for this book and I adore the concept. Again, you can hook me very easily with just a good concept. And I'm the kind of person, I don't read the backs of books or like the little description. I literally just go in blind. If I like the author, or if I saw the cover somewhere and it looked good, or if I heard someone talking about it for just a second and it sounded compelling, like I'll just pick it up and I don't need the description. So a lot of this book was genuinely a surprise to me, even though I could have learned a lot of that information from just reading the description. I felt like most of the excitement was learning what I could have learned from that description, and I was so into it. I also got really freaked out by it. I put this in my Thanksgiving vlog, but there was just like a certain moment in it where I started to get really existential and it started freaking me out about, I don't know, the meaning of life. And there's just a lot of stuff about ghosts in there, and the concept of ghosts started freaking me out. So I was having a really hard time reading it. Like, I was so into it, but I couldn't convince myself to pick it up because I was scared of how it was gonna go down. And once I was finally like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna force myself through it, even if it's going to make me crash out, make me have a really bad existential episode, whatever. And it, in fact, did not do that to me because I thought it was a weird ending. So yeah, up until, I guess, the kind of big thing that happens, it's really, really good. And there's a lot of surprises that are really interesting. And like, they're definitely surprising. They're definitely a little plot twist, but it's not how I wanted it to go. And that's all I'm gonna leave that at. So in the end, I rated that 3.25 stars. Honestly, if I would have stopped like before the big reveal kind of thing, it probably would have been closer to 5 stars, maybe like 4.5, but I wasn't a fan of the ending. That's just me. I also DNF'd one book, which was The 12-Week Year. I have heard a lot of good things about this book and this concept. Look, I get it. I went through my phase where I was like, yeah, maybe I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. Maybe we should do our goals in a shorter period. But that was before I like really knew how to set New Year's resolutions and knew how to set up my goals to actually make them effective. I feel like over the past 2, maybe 3 years, probably 2 years, I've gotten really good at making New Year's resolutions and therefore kind of trickling them down into monthly resolutions or monthly goals, and then breaking that down into weeks and daily routines, trying to make my day-to-day life as efficient to work towards these long-term goals and dreams. And I don't know that I really needed the 12-week year. Regardless, I wasn't reading it with the intention of like learning a new method and hoping it would change my life. I was just curious to see some of the advice and thought process behind it, but it just like was repeating itself so much, and it was also saying just some stupid advice to me. I just didn't really think it was correct in a lot of the things it was saying. It was just like, research says this, we know this. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I don't connect with what it was saying, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't a universal thing. And besides, I feel like I've heard enough about it to kind of get the concept that it's just essentially shrinking your year into a 12-week period instead of using an entire year, and you don't really need to say much else about that. It's just change the concept of time in your mind and shorten your period for success. It's like a lock-in period instead of, you know, giving yourself a full year and giving yourself all that time to procrastinate and all of that. Sure, to each their own. It just wasn't for me. It really wasn't going to be a long book. I think it was only a little bit over 100 pages, but I don't know. I think I DNF'd it around 20%. Like I couldn't do it for some reason. And now the books that I'm currently reading, technically one is a listening to, it's an audiobook. Another one is Bound by Ali Hazelwood. I have no clue what that one is about. I've listened to, I think, 1 or 2 chapters. I don't know what's going on. So I have no thoughts, no opinions, no expectations. I'm just gonna go through it. And then I'm also reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, which I loved Happy Place so much. I thought Book Lovers was okay. So I'm excited to see how this one's gonna sit on this like scale of just like a decent book to like life-changing. So far it's good. Like, it's not sticking out to me. It's not standing out in any specific way, but it's really good. I'm about 50% through, so I'll definitely be finishing that soon into December. And I don't know, I haven't been thinking about books that much lately because I haven't had a lot of time, but I think after these 2, I'm gonna start getting into some that are on my physical TBR, some random books that I have picked up randomly while shopping that I probably didn't need to buy, but I did. For TV, the only thing that is really sticking out for TV is I am still rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine with my boyfriend who has never watched it. I think I said that last month, but that one's gonna take a while, so you're probably gonna keep hearing that one. As for music, I have been listening to 21 Pilots a lot. I knew it was coming. So Breach has been the album that's been on repeat a lot. That's their latest one. And the only other one that's been significant is Tate McRae's deluxe version of So Close to What. I love all the music she makes, so I'm very happy to have an additional few songs. But that's been pretty much it. Lastly, for podcast, you're gonna hear the same thing over and over again. I'm always listening to Mel Robbins. And on top of that, kind of adding Hard Lunch with Dan and Phil to my constant podcast rotation. So that's all the stuff I've been consuming. Now now we're gonna go into my goals. So first we're gonna look at my past November goals, see all the things that I hit and all the things that I didn't. Another little honest moment here. I feel really disconnected to my goals from November, and I don't really feel connected to goals in general right now. I don't get unmotivated per se at the end of the year, but like I said earlier, this is kind of the restful time. This is the reset time, and I don't feel compelled to do anything super big and crazy. It's the closeout period in my mind. So I don't think that I did extremely well on any of this. Let's just go through them and see. So first category for health and fitness, I did want to continue my workout routine. I feel like I've been really good some weeks and then really like meh some weeks. I maybe had 1 week in there that I just like did nothing, but I have been getting a lot more steps, especially I think this last month. I got 10K steps either every day or like 5 out of 7 days. And I've been noticing that my weight has been finally going down a little bit just from doing that. And that kind of made something click for me that yes, all the walking helps. And also I do need to go to the gym at least a little bit. I don't have to be like crazy gym rat, but if I want to lose weight, if I want to feel good, I'm gonna have to do some form of working out, obviously. But trying to manage everything else, I feel like working out is always the first to go for me. And it's really clicking more and more and more because I keep preaching it, but then won't follow it when I know that I feel good and it's better for me in so many different ways when I am working out. Like for a little while, I wasn't able to sleep. Again, like I go through these phases for like a week where I can't really stay asleep during the night. I also can't fall asleep. And the first day that I worked out after going through that period, I started sleeping fine. So that really clicked for me that I need to prioritize working out at least 3 times a week. That is going to be my baseline for right now. And then I want to get 10K steps as much as possible. Anyways, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I think for the most part, I did okay with this, but I don't think it's enough to check it off. Next goal was think about protein every day. I think this started falling off around Thanksgiving. It's really hard to track during the holidays. I just honestly haven't been caring. Like my goals nutrition wise have been out the window this last week. It's so hard to even know where I've been at considering I've been on break the last 4 days and it's just been holiday stuff this whole time. So I'm not gonna count this one either. The next one was to increase weight on overhead press, which I do think I probably could if I were not in an apartment gym because my weights only have 10-pound increases and I don't know that I can go from 20 to 30. I could probably do 25 right now, but I don't want to jump to 30. I'm not comfortable with that yet. So yeah, I didn't do that one either. So health and fitness has been just fantastic. Next, we're gonna go into content creation. So first one, I want to post 2 times a week on my short form for this channel, and I believe I did that. I can't be positive unless I check, and I just don't feel like fact checking myself. So we're gonna say, yeah, I at least did okay with this. I kept up a mostly consistent routine. All I know is that it's been better. And then we have all my specific type of videos. So I've been trying to do this for the last few months. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this up because it feels too structured in a way. But the first one I wanted to make was a more template based video. So like something about my Notion templates. I did not do that. I just have not had time to get my templates to a place I want to upload them. So it's been like that for a lot of months now. Second, I wanted to do a vlog type video. I did one last week, I guess this week over Thanksgiving break. I wanted to do one that's more on the creative side, which I don't really think I did. I feel like I don't even know what I did. Oh, well, that's why, because I technically have only had 2 videos between this one and the last monthly reset. So I would consider the last one, which was a Thanksgiving vlog, a vlog type video. And then the other one would be my more SEO searchability type video. So I hit 2 out of the 4 videos I was hoping to post with only 2 videos posted. So I guess it works. Then going into hobbies, I did want to finish 3 books, which has been kind of my pattern over the last couple months. I did achieve that, just barely, honestly. I also wanted to write another 1K words on my book. Guys, you're not gonna believe it. I didn't open the document. I don't know where this last month has gone, to be quite honest. I don't know what I've been doing, but it hasn't been writing. My next goal was, in fact, to have a dedicated writing session 1 time every week. Didn't do that because I didn't open the document. Last goal was in finances, which was to pay off my credit card debt. And I did do that, in fact, for about 1 day. And then, guess what? Christmas presents. So I put myself back into about the same amount of debt that I was in before. So I paid it off just to put it right back, which is okay. I think that with some of the cash back I'm getting should be good. We will go into more of the budget details later, but I think technically I'm gonna check that off and then we're just gonna move the goal over to December. So out of 14 goals, I only hit 4. No, just kidding. I hit 5. 5 out of 14. Not a great percentage rate. Did not really kill it in November, but I had a really good time. It's been a really good month. It's been really wholesome. It's been really cozy. I feel really connected to people, which I don't usually feel. It's really hard for me to like enjoy social activities and to feel close to the people around me, but I'm kind of getting there. I'm kind of getting in the spirit. So I'm not really worried about being super try hard on my goals because I feel like I'm making a lot of really good improvement in more like niche personal areas of my life that I can't really like quantify and write down. Like it's just something internal, something that I know is happening. So I'm just embracing like this season I'm going through right now and where I'm at in this phase of my life. So with all of that, December is still gonna have some goals, but it's mostly gonna be maintenance and resetting kind of stuff. No big projects, no really like far away challenging goals. So let's talk about them. So I still feel like I wrote a lot down for December. And I don't know how much of these I'm really gonna push for super hard, but I just wanted these general vibes written down, like the things to have on my mind. So with health and fitness, I do want to keep up my workout routine with 3 to 4 times in the gym every week. Maybe it's a pipe dream at this point. I feel like I keep saying it and it's not happening, but each month is getting a little bit better and I'm figuring out a little bit more. So let's hope we can find some time for it. Second goal, as I said, I'm walking a lot. I do really like getting my 10K steps. So I would like to get 10K steps at least 5 out of 7 days of each week, which will be hard considering it's gonna start snowing here in the next couple weeks. It's getting really cold. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of treadmill walking, which is not my vibe necessarily. But yeah, if I am going to the gym, then I'm gonna be walking. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Hopefully saying it manifests it into reality a little bit. With career, I really don't have anything crazy. I know I said I think last month or the month before that I wasn't really gonna have crazy work goals when it comes to like my monthly reset because I'm separating that area of my life now. But this isn't a really specific goal. It's just to kind of keep on top of everything, to keep up with the paperwork and keep up with the emails. Make sure I don't fall behind on anything work-wise in any capacity, just so that I can start the new year off with clean slate. For content creation, I would like to post one long form video every week. At this point, again, it's just maintenance. It's something I've been doing for months and months, even though I kind of have been slipping up a little bit recently. I want to be more strict this month about hitting my upload dates and making sure I'm hitting each upload, just because every year there's only one December, there's only one January, there's only so much time to get all this like reset, new year, new me kind of content. And I think my video ideas are really good, and this is like my favorite time of year to make this kind of content, so I don't want to slack in any department with that. Next, this is honestly my only crazy one, and this was put on as an impulse a couple hours ago, but I do want to participate in Vlogmas for my short form content. I think that'll be really good for me. I kind of miss my daily vlogging on short form. It's gonna be killer for sure, but I do miss it and I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do it at least. Then my next one is kind of niche. I want to post each dream snap result I have on Twitter, or X I guess. I've been doing dream snaps again for Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is the game I always play. It's what I do the most on my gaming channel. I've been doing that every week for like the last 6 or 7 weeks. I've been pretty consistent with it, and I've been doing TikToks on each one of them, but I do want to add Twitter to that just so that I'm having a little bit of activity on like every account that I have. I never want to like get so intense with my gaming stuff that it takes over, but it's something really easy. It takes 5 minutes. So why not just add it as something so I can mentally keep tabs on it and make sure I'm doing it. Other than that, that's all I have for content creation. Keeping it as simple as possible. I'm not gonna like try to hit all these specific video goals. Keeping it just consistent, routine, maintenance, nothing over the top. For hobbies, the only one that's really hardcore here is just finish 1 book. I have been saying 3 books for the last few months, but I'm just trying to be realistic here and thinking about how often I'm gonna be reading and what specifically I'm gonna be reading, because I do have to finish Great Big Beautiful Life, which it's a little bit bigger than average, so I still have to finish that one. On top of that, I think my next one is probably gonna be Alchemized, which is like 1,000 pages, and I don't know. I don't foresee me finishing that in just 1 month. I feel like that might be a 1 to 2 month long read, maybe depending on how good it is, especially in this time of year. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to pick it up. So I'm not sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I hit my book goal for this year a long time ago, so I'm fine. I think I'm at like 150, 200% of my goal. Next year, I will have a more ambitious goal. So I don't know how long I want to take with Alchemize, and I don't know if I really want that to linger too long into the new year, but regardless, I know it's gonna take a while, and I'm not trying to force myself with anything right now. I also, once again, have a dedicated writing session each week. Maybe trying to not expect too long of a session, like maybe just 10, 30 minutes, somewhere around there. Just whenever I get a chance. I think I hit another little block where I don't know where to go, and I just need to put something down and I'll edit it out later. That's my biggest problem, is I just want it to be perfect on my first write, and it's not gonna be. Next we have beauty, and this one's really random. I do want to do my makeup and make sure I'm wearing jewelry every day, as I'm not wearing jewelry. Basically, like, I want to put effort into my looks every day, because I feel like when these breaks come around, since I don't have the routine and I don't have the waking up early and like going somewhere every single day, I start to not want to take care of myself and like not get ready in any form, like not even brush my hair, and that makes me feel worse about myself and kind of ruins the vibes for the day. So I want to make sure I'm putting effort into every single day during this holiday season, so that I can make sure I feel good about myself and that everything goes well. On top of that, I also want to start looking into more makeup products. I don't know really what I want yet, but I did go to Sephora the other day and I realized like how out of touch I've been with makeup. Like, I used to keep up with all of the like new releases, like the new palettes that everyone was excited about. I used to watch a lot of beauty gurus. I used to care about my full makeup routine and like making sure that everything is perfect, knowing all the new techniques and everything, and I just don't do that anymore, which for the most part is fine. I like my makeup routine right now. I feel like I got something good going on. It's simple, it's quick, I feel good when I do it. I just miss being excited about like the art of it a little bit, just from time to time. Not saying I have to go crazy every day, just for events and stuff, have a little bit of creativity. And I want some new products, to be honest. I miss having a lot. So that's all for beauty, but going into home, this is probably the only other like ambitious big goal that I have for the month, which is I want to do a full deep clean and organization of my entire apartment. I am very happy with where it's at. Like I've said this multiple times, I haven't had any problems, any goals with my space, because it's been making me happy. I feel like I've curated it like to be exactly what I want it to be, but I know that I haven't been doing a lot of the bigger routine cleaning, and it's starting to show. So I need to do a full clean of everything, and just a few things that I've kind of started to let go a little bit with the organization, like some of my storage closet on the outside balcony and some of my drawers for my electronics and all that. I just want to go through, make sure that everything's good, maybe throw away some old stuff if I don't want it, donate some old stuff, maybe make a list of some other things I would want, or some other things that I have to like restructure a bit. It won't be that much longer that I'm in this apartment, so I want to make sure this last like half year that I have with it is just spent with it being like very taken care of and very organized. For finances, I said I would carry this over. I want to make sure my credit card debt is paid off. Again, I don't think there's anything more I have to say about that. And then for mindset, I want to do gratitude most mornings. I haven't been doing it as much because for a second I felt like I hit a wall with it in a good way. Like I felt like I had just gotten to a point where I didn't need to recite some things to feel grateful and to feel positive, but I'm maybe at the point where I need some refreshers, and I need to make sure I'm reminding myself of this every day to stick it in my brain. I made a whole video on that, so if you're curious, you can go check that out, because I have my whole little structure that I do every morning when I remember to, and it's pretty helpful. My last goal, which I think is almost complete at this point, I would like to finish my annual structure page. So this is something that has bothered me for many years about myself. When it comes around time for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I kind of lose the plot, not in my goals, but just I don't know what's going on. Like I don't feel in touch with what is happening and what season it is. And the holidays pass so quick, and I feel like I just forgot about all these things that I wanted to do all year. I'm really now into like romanticizing the holidays and making sure that you're celebrating all the things that you're supposed to do, but it really comes down to half the time I just forget and I don't schedule it in, and the time just goes by and I'm like, oh, it's over. Like for Thanksgiving, I wanted to cook a meal. I only planned out what I wanted to cook about 2 days before, which wasn't so bad because I was only cooking for me and my boyfriend. It wasn't like I needed something like super extravagant, but like I wanted to do a dessert and I didn't really have time to plan out a dessert to that extent. It always happens that way. Like if I would have just thought about it at the end of October, beginning of November, then I wouldn't have felt as stressed for the week of Thanksgiving and everything would have been a lot better. But it always happens to where I don't even think about the planning either. So what I did is made this like really full calendar with what event I need to be planning at each period of the year. So it's basically highlighted into like what thing I'm preparing for. It has all the holidays, all the birthdays, all the big trips, all the festivals and TV premieres, movie premieres, video game releases, anything that I need to think about and plan out into my week or my month or my year in one way or another. So like for big holidays like Christmas, for Thanksgiving, stuff that I know that I have to do a lot of planning for, 2 to 3 months. That's how long I think I need, because I need it on my radar like 3 months ahead of time so I can put the planning on my schedule, which is going to take me a few weeks to get to. Then once I actually start planning, then I'm going to have to put all these different events. Like say for Halloween, you got to go to the pumpkin patch. You got to carve your pumpkin or paint it. You got to put up Halloween decorations. You got to go trick-or-treating. I guess I don't go trick-or-treating, but you know what I mean. You have to put all these events on the calendar. It's very dramatic, but if you guys know me, you know that I'm very fail to plan and you're planning to fail. And that's what happens is every year the time just goes by and I'm just like, okay, well, I'll do it next year. And then I don't, because I don't have the proper planning for it. So this is just the structure I'm figuring out. If you're interested in that, I think I'm posting a vlog 2 videos from now. I will be doing my vision boards, setting up my annual planning, all of that. It's basically going to be a get ready for 2026 with me video, but I think it's kind of the extent of my December. All right, so now we're in the budget portion for the monthly reset. And as you can see, I was a little bit down for November, which honestly is not as depressing as it seems. So we can look at everything individually. For income, I made just a tiny bit more than I expected paycheck wise. I did make a lot more in cash back. Instead of 50, I made $4.24, and then I made $2 in interest. So in total, it was about $3,750. My bills came out to be a little over $2K, which is pretty typical, even though my utilities were on the lower end. My rent, the internet, car insurance was exactly what I expected. Then we can come over here to expenses. So I actually didn't spend a lot on groceries. I also didn't really spend too much on fast food and food delivery. I mean, I guess I put a little bit of a dent in food delivery, but nothing too insane. I mostly just ate food I already had, or I made my boyfriend pay for it. So it wasn't too bad. General shopping, I did have to get some restock, some extra underwear, because TMI, mine just kept ripping. Like it was just at that point where none of them could hold up anymore. And then I did get some drawer organizers for my dresser. So yeah, not all necessarily like needs, but mostly needs. And then entertainment media was exactly what I expected. I told you guys I want to buy the expansion pass for one of my games, and it came out to be a little bit over 50 with tax, but pretty right in the money. I do think I mentioned getting an oil change for my car last month, and I ended up caving and letting them do like the filters and the fluids and stuff, so it ended up being a little bit more than I wanted it to be. I'm not super happy about that, but I did decline a lot of different things, which I don't usually do. I usually just let them do whatever they want. So I'm proud of myself for that, and I'm probably gonna have to let them do all the stuff they asked for next time I go. So I'll be saving for that. And then I did get a bunch of presents. Look, I don't know. I know I'm not financially in the place to really buy a bunch of presents for Christmas and for birthdays and stuff, but I just keep trying to decide that I am, and just like forcing my way into it, because I want to live that lifestyle. I want to provide for people. That's where I'm at, and it did hurt me a little bit, but it wouldn't have really hurt me if I didn't have credit card debt. So I did end up paying off my credit card debt in full, and this is what it was, which this is really annoying, because like if I already put the stuff that I charged on my credit cards up here in a previous month, and then I'm putting it here again in debt, like overall the expenses for the year are not going to be accurate. But I need to put it in to do an accurate monthly spending, like to see this number, to see if I'm positive or negative, because I haven't been putting that in the past, because again, I've already logged it, but I don't want to delude myself and think that I'm positive for the month when I'm not, because I have to pay off debt. I don't know, but that's how much I paid in credit card debt, and then I ended up just putting myself in more credit card debt. So that's cool. As for my savings and my subscriptions, everything was normal there. So I think we might as well go on to the December budget. So for the December budget, nothing too insane. I guess I didn't actually put in most of these numbers, but I'm expecting to make about the same. I always put just like around this number because that's pretty much what it is on a 4 paycheck month. I think I'm expecting a little bit more in cash back because I already see what's pending right now, and it's a good bit. I guess honestly, I'm gonna put like 100 in gifts because I might get like some Amazon cards or something for Christmas. We'll see, but there's definitely gonna be no bonus. If I get interest, it's gonna be really small, and I don't think I'll be getting any other forms of income. My rent was taken completely from what I already see is on my statement, so that's all accurate. Yeah, these are all exact numbers except for utilities. I don't know how much that's gonna be. 150 is my high, so I just leave it in there. I'm not gonna put my debt in until I know how much I have. I need to pay off my cards this week, so I guess we'll just see. I know that I'm probably somewhere between 500 to 1k down. I did the math today, but then I had to buy groceries and stuff, so I'm on the higher end right now. Let's just put expenses. I know I spent a lot of money on groceries today, so I think I'm gonna say let's just do like 750. I know it's probably gonna be a bit higher this month because I was so casual last month. I need to like be better about getting groceries because my fridge has been so bare. I'm gonna try to say no to all fast food this month, and I'm gonna try to do like just 50 on food delivery. No eating out, no restaurants. I don't think I have really any social events where I would have to spend money. Probably not. And I don't think me and Kyle are really gonna go on any dates this month. Not that I'm paying for, at least. General shopping. I think I just spent a little bit. I'm gonna say like 200. Furniture is gonna be no. Decorations is gonna be no. Clothing, no. Makeup, no. Entertainment media, no. No, absolutely not. Self-care, no. I think I'm just gonna say no to all of this except gifts and presents. I'm probably gonna spend another like 150. That's what I'm keeping it at. And then I don't really have to fill out anything for the savings, and my subscriptions are always the same. So planning wise, if you remove this student loan debt, I have 303 remaining for the month. I only like to keep the student loan debt in there so I can see how much I'm like valued at essentially. So yeah, technically this is what I have in my accounts right now, but I do have like $300 remaining that I can use for unexpected expenses or to pay off the debt. Most likely to pay off the debt that I shouldn't have gotten myself into in the first place. Yeah, that's the budget. So let's move on to the followers trackers. Okay, so I'll be finishing off this video with my followers trackers. We're just gonna look at my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Instagram, check all of the metrics, see where we grew and where we maybe didn't grow. So for YouTube, I went from 787 subscribers to 820. Honestly, I did not feel like I really grew this month, so that does make me happy to see that it's there. For watch hours, I went from 4.6k to 4.8k, and for views, I went from 638.9k to 732.8k, and for videos, I went from 202 to 212. For TikTok, we grew by 1, so I'm very thankful for that one person who decided to follow me. I went from 2,366 followers to 2,367, and for likes, I went from 588.9k to 590.4k. And Instagram, as always, is the one place I lost followers. I went from 555 to 551. I am so lost with Instagram. If someone has tips specifically tailored to my Instagram and what to do differently without like breaking my back over it, I would really appreciate it because I don't know what's going on. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I don't know why I feel like I barely talked in this one, even though this is probably still gonna be 30 to 50 minutes long. I don't know, it just feels like I should have like such big things to say and like big things to do because it's the last month of the year. But as I said earlier in the video, this is the last reset that is gonna be like this simple. I'm gonna be taking everything a lot more seriously next year. I have a bit more of an extreme structure, and I've been organizing so much. I've been cleaning up all of my templates. All of my planning systems have been revamped so that I can make everything as efficient as possible and as good as possible for you guys next year. So I'm just trying to focus now on getting this video up, and then you guys will see in the next couple videos doing the one where I like actually do the physical reset. Like, this is a lot of just the surface level stuff that I do every single time, just like filling out information. It's also just more on a monthly scale, but I'm like really ready to get into the yearly reset stuff, and that's everything you're gonna see in that upcoming vlog. So if you want like some more in-depth stuff, some more yapping, some more probably crash outs, honestly, be sure to wait for that one. I'm so excited to film it. Yeah, if you guys watched all the way through, be sure to comment down if you have anything that is absolutely essential to your monthly reset, something that you do every time without fail. Comment it down below and put a little snowflake emoji with it, just so I can really know you watched up to this point. But I'm really curious about that because I want to know if there's anything else that's like a core thing that maybe I'm missing from my reset routine. Everyone knows I'm just gonna get excited about having new things to add to my little default routine. And other than that, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next video, but if not, bye bye.